Squeeze!
Such a Hello!
Squeeze!
What up?
What's up?
Everything is up, man.
What's up? It's the last
Everything is
show
up,
of the week.
Yeah,
The,
well, it's
last show of the week before Shaggy and Friends concert. The last
Yep, it is the last.
show before Squeeze is off doing whatever he does on weekends. He's working on the weekends.
Work.
Right?
Work.
Up there is
Work. That's what I
Squeeze
do.
It Up. I thought you were gone there. Right. Now, everybody, there's a song. It's really back from the 1980s. It says everybody's working for the weekends, but Squeeze is everybody's working on the weekends, right? Always working. Right?
I am working on the week.
Right? Always
I am-
working. Always working.
Always.
Always. You're
What's you, man?
hardest working man on Facebook, David Squeeze Annakie.
Yep.
We need
I
like a
am.
Monica to give you. By the way, this is our last show, and by the way, you can call 1-800-529-5465. We were just watching in the studio, Squeeze, right before we came on, the Jeopardy thing. Did you see the Jeopardy thing? Where the guy,
No.
Did you hear about it? We were just watching it. Joe was just showing me right before we got on. Where the guy, he was the champion. His name was Nick Spicer, I guess, Spicer, something like that. And for the final answer, the answer was a song by Coolio from Dangerous Minds goes back in time to become a 1667 John Milton classic. That was the answer. And he was supposed to say, what is a gangsta? And he said, what is a gangster? And I guess, I guess he was all correct. And they gave him the money and he won. And then Trebek says, wait. Our judges have reevaluated. And you said gangster instead of gangsta. You're wrong. And he lost.
What do you think? Think he should?
I don't know. We got to watch the video. Jill said she has the video up. Let's see. Because I'm like, what, are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Have reevaluated one of your responses a few moments ago, Nick. You said gangsters instead of gangstas on that song by Coolio.
I don't know. Is there a difference between gangster and gangsta? Is there a difference between because and because?
Gangsta is singular and gangsters is plural.
Is that what you think?
But I don't agree with them taking the winnings from the guy.
You don't think
Because we all know what he meant.
Well, this is what Jeopardy said. This is what Trebek said. Trebek said, although Nick's response of Gangster's Paradise Lost was initially accepted, the hard R sound caught the ear of one member of the onstage team who immediately followed up with a quick check. It turns out that Gangsta and Gangster are both listed separately in the Oxford English Dictionary. Gangster is a member of a gang of violent criminals. Gangsta is a informal gang member. What's the difference, Squeeze? I think that guy got totally ripped off. I'm just reading. I'm like, it's completely different. I'm showing there's more to life than being a gangsta and a thug. Gangsta and gangster is the same exact thing. That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
That's right. And you know what? You know what Kim said? Kim said, if I'm on Jeopardy, it's like, Trebek, he's so stiff. She's not going to say, oh yeah, what's a gangster? She's going to say, what's a gangster? Be very, very, I don't know. I think he got ripped off personally. We were just watching it.
I think so.
You think so too? Is there a difference between gangster and gangsta?
You asking me?
I don't know. I'm asking anybody who'll talk to me. Lisa Bling Rose says they're one and the same. Simona says it's the same thing. Pauline Williams just says hello. I don't know. We were just watching it beforehand, and we were like, we all agreed that he got ripped off.
Yes, I agree.
You agree too?
He got ripped.
So if you call someone a gangster or you call someone a gangster, it means the same thing. In your book.
Same damn thing.
In your book.
Yep.
So if you were the host, you would have given him the money.
Of course.
You think? You don't seem so incensed as I was. I couldn't believe it when it was shown. You were not. I'm incensed for the guy. I was very angry for him. What about this one, Squeeze?
How much money did he lose?
He lost Jeopardy. I don't know how much money he lost. Jill, how much money did this guy lose?
12 grand.
He dropped from 12,000 to second place, 8,800. So the answer cost him $1,600, but he lost the jackpot at 12,000. Lost about 12 grand. Because I don't think you only go home with the winnings if you actually win, if my recollection is correct. There's no second place. There's no second place in Jeopardy. You know, as my grandfather used to say, listen, this is not a race, but you don't want to come in second.
Oh, man. I like that.
So, any event, we're here to answer immigration questions. 1-800-529-5465. Yeah. Squeeze, you have anything to say about Mike Tyson and his marijuana ranch before we get into immigration questions? That was the other big topic of conversation we had. Why are you so big? Your head is cut off like Frankenstein. You got to stand back. There you go.
How's that?
There you go. Much better. So that was the other big conversation between shows was Mike Tyson opening up his marijuana ranch. There he is, Iron Mike.
Well, the man is a businessman. What can I say?
All right. Well, he's 51 years old, former heavyweight champion of the world. What?
If you had 40 acres, would you open up a marijuana ranch?
No, I would not.
What would you put on the 40 acres?
You want to know why I wouldn't?
Why?
Because right now, even though it is legal in the state of California to grow marijuana, it is illegal in the United States of America to grow marijuana. And Donald Trump and Jeff Sessions, who are two great crazy guys, two crazy, I would say another word, but we're on WVIP. We're on WVIP, so I can't say it. But they are now going to be enforcing marijuana laws. They can go in and arrest Iron Mike. I'd like to see that fight. Imagine Iron Mike getting arrested for growing marijuana legally in California. It could happen because the U.S. government says they're going to enforce marijuana laws. As a matter of fact, the Border Patrol just came out, Squeeze, and said that if you're in California but you're within 100 miles of the border with weed, you're getting arrested by Border Patrol. So I don't know if I had 40 acres, that would be like the best, smartest thing in the world for me to do at this moment. I don't know. If you had 40 acres in California, Squeeze, you would go into the weed business? Is that what you would do?
As long as it's legal.
Well, it's legal in the state, but it's not legal in the federal government.
So then why are they allowing it?
They're not. Well, that state is allowing it, but Jeff Sessions said he's going to enforce federal government law. So who knows what's going to happen? So there's going to be a big fight. Does federal government law trump state law, so to speak? Hate to use that word.
Right.
So would you want to start growing weed and then get caught up in a legal battle that you may or may not win that'll cost you millions of dollars against the federal government and possibly land you in jail?
Well, Brad, let me put it this way.
What?
It's like not buying Bitcoin when you know you should have bought Bitcoin.
That is very true.
I'm telling you.
It's like not buying New York City real estate when you should have. You're like, oh yeah,
exactly.
the apartments were like $750,000. You're like, I ain't paid no $750,000 for an apartment, and now they're worth like $4 million. You're like, damn, I should have done it.
Precisely. So in everything you do in life, there's a certain degree of amount of risk, and the risk is the federal government coming in and grabbing your asphalt and putting you in trouble. So you got to take some risk if you want to win big.
Well, it's very interesting. What's very interesting, and I have no idea how this is going to play out, but Mike Tyson purposely put the marijuana ranch right next to Edwards Air Force Base. And the location is a very short drive, a few-minute drive from Edwards Air Force Base, which is an Air Force base in California, one of the main Air Force bases in the entire United States of America, F-16 bombers, and all sorts of things. And according to Iron Mike, he wants to take care of the men and women who have served in the armed forces, which is his top priority. That is exactly what we want. We want our Air Force pilots, Iron Mike, to be high as a kite once they start dropping bombs on North Korea. That would be a wonderful, 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 wonderful way to help our armed services.
Gives meaning to the term flying high.
Flying high, exactly. And then I wonder what happens but you know what's very interesting from a legal standpoint? When you go on to Edwards Air Force Base, you're on federal property. You're not on, it's military. Military law applies there. So if you're a serviceman, an armed serviceman, or a woman, and you go buy weed at Iron Mike's farm, and then you bring it back onto the property of of Edwards Air Force Base, that's not the state of California. That's U.S. military law. And at last I checked, you're not allowed to have weed in the U.S. military.
Right.
So I don't know.
Hey, Mike's got up his sleeve.
I don't know what he's got up his sleeve, or in his jock, or whatever he's got. I don't know.
Well, so much for Mike.
So much for that.
Iron Mike.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think we had a poll, but I have no idea what happened to our poll. But there was supposed to be a poll about this. That's what we talked about. But there is no poll. Nobody listens to Brad. Squeeze. Nobody listens. Nobody. Nothing's happening on the poll. Okay.
Let's wrap up the phone line and see if anyone will actually.
There is a poll.
Question.
All right. 1-800-529. Obviously, nobody really cared. They only care that we get into immigration.
Right.
Yeah.
1-800-529-5651. The Brad and Squeeze Show. We're ready to answer your immigration questions. We're just giving you tidbits of the news. But remember, you can also place your questions on Facebook, the Brad and Squeeze Show page on Facebook Live. That's the Brad and Squeeze Show page. Just put that in the search box, Brad and Squeeze, and you'll find us. Make sure you share that page with at least 20 of the people in your 20 of your friends, ladies and gentlemen, and also pages and groups. Once again, yours truly, David Squeeze Annakie with Brad. Ready to rock and roll, man?
Yeah, by the way, I'm just reading some of the comments here, and Odvar Wilson, very, very smart comment, says the difference between gangster and gangsta. It's probably smarter than anything we've said so far, so I want to say it. The difference between gangster and gangsta is syntax. One's more ethnic than the other, or cultural than the other. If you think about it, they're from two separate cultural backgrounds. So if it's from two separate cultural backgrounds, does that now make it a different word?
Right. I think it's one and the same. Okay, I understand what they're saying from two different cultural backgrounds. Pretty much they're saying maybe in the predominantly white community you'll hear someone say gangster. Maybe in the hood you hear somebody say gangster. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're pretty much saying. You see what I'm saying?
I think it's just I don't even think it's linguistics. I just think it's pronunciation. Right? Is that what you're saying? It's accent and pronunciation. It's like how I say because, right?
No, it's accent and it's culture as to what the person just said.
But but he should not have lost. I think that's wrong.
Right.
I think that's wrong. Right.
Iron Mike Tyson.
You ever meet him?
No, I haven't.
Would you ever want to be punched by him?
No.
Neither.
Punched or bitten? No.
No. Neither one. And wait a second here. Tasha says, I want to get in touch with Squeeze. I'm afraid of Brad. What did I do to make? Why am I the scary guy now? What did I do?
Hey, I've got charisma.
What did I do that I'm the scary person?
I've got charisma, man.
Yeah. I got charisma.
I'm smooth.
I got charisma.
Yeah.
I got charisma.
Yeah. Yeah. That personality.
I have personality. I'm Squeezed.
Yeah. There you go.
All right.